looking at you. You want this on my forehead, between my eyes. You know, you've heard about that third eye. Oh. Okay, now we're not rolling here yet, so don't get too excited. Here we go. Are we all right?
Take 3.
Yeah, we're okay.
And second chapter.
Yeah, so tell us about your time at university.
All right. I managed to get a scholarship to Oxford in 1967, and I arrived there shortly, just after the Summer of Love that year, which I gather went down better in San Francisco than in Oxford. But still, the atmosphere was pretty interesting, and definitely quite different from Glasgow. However, I found I didn't have much in common with the students in the college that I was meeting until I gravitated towards, there were a few other freaks, long hairs, weirdos and so on, and 3 of us, with one other man in a different college, formed a band. We were playing rock, blues. I played jazz guitar before, but I was playing bass. And John Mayall and the Blues Breakers was a big influence on us, but we had this very hip acid edge, and we played Doors covers by the songs by the Doors. And so
what was the name of the band?
Blue Trauma. Now you may laugh, but in 1967,
it's good.
Yeah, you had to see the poster. It was in the like those Jimi Hendrix posters, the big fat psychedelic letters. But anyway, no, Blue Trauma was who we were, and for better or worse. And in fact, our greatest achievement was not our own music, but the fact that we managed to take over the committee at the college that booked the bands for the commemoration ball. And in 1969, every college had a ball every year. And they were normally fairly stodgy affairs with ballroom dancing and so on. And although the cutting edge colleges, real avant-garde was to book a trad jazz band like Acker Bilk and his Paramount Jazz Band. But we thought we could do better than that and go further. And so I contacted an agency in London to see which bands were available. And they wrote back a letter that surfaced on the internet a few months ago, amazingly. The college old members office wrote to me and said, we just saw this letter on Twitter. They sent me this someone took a photo with their smartphone, I suppose, and they said, we think this is you, because it was addressed to Mr. G.R. Parkes, the Queen's College. And sure enough, it was me, and this was a list of the bands that were available. And we had a good enough budget to, I think we booked 8 of them from this letter. Pink Floyd, Jethro Tull, 10 Years After. And in fact, toward the bottom there, you see they called the band Freedom, but their name was Free, and they were terrific. They were young guys, absolutely terrific. But for me, the big thing was Pink Floyd. The problem with Pink Floyd was between the time that they signed the contract and June of that year, when the ball took place, they had really become famous. Their second album, Saucerful of Secrets, had come out, and in fact, 2 days after they played at our college, they played the Albert Hall in London with 5,000-6,000 people.
And your college, the ball was how many people?
Oh gosh, just a few hundred.
And for how much money?
A couple of hundred, and we paid them £250. I mean, it was. They were not happy. So they tried their manager wrote, and they tried to get out of or agent tried to get out of it. And fortunately, we had a clause in the contract that made it too expensive. And so they said, okay, we'll come. But they were not happy campers when they arrived. And for me, this was my big moment. You know, I played bass. We're going to meet Roger Waters and Pink Floyd. And so I greeted them when they arrived at the college, and I said, I'm Graham Parkes. I'll be taking care of you, taking you to the dressing room and so on. Just follow me. I was speaking like that because that's how I used to speak when I was growing up. And I thought I didn't want them to be taking me as some spoiled Oxford rich kid, which I wasn't. So I thought the down-to-earth approach would go over well. I think the problem was what I was wearing at the time, which was my electric blue crushed velvet trousers. It didn't help anyway. They were not in a good mood. So I took them to their room. It's a nice big room. And I said, we've got a few crates of Newcastle brown ale there for you, and just let me know if there's anything else you need. Well, I shouldn't have said that, because Roger Waters said, where's the champagne? And I said, I'm sorry, we don't have any champagne. I said, we've got the Newcastle brown, as I said, and I can get more if you need it. Just let me know. And he said, well, on the way in, we saw people with champagne. There's champagne all over the place. I said, yes, but they're paying through the nose for it. Well, I can't get that for you, I'm sorry. And he said, well, I'm not sure if we can play without champagne. And I said, well, suit yourself. You're here after all with your equipment, but I hope I'll see you later. I have to go now because our band, I'm playing in a band, is opening on stage 2 before Jethro Tull. I said, I play the bass myself. I don't know what I expected him to say to that. He just said, oh, really?
You never meet your heroes.
Well, yeah, it was stupid of me, I suppose, to expect more. But yes, it was a bit disappointing. Jethro Tull were total opposite. They were very friendly, very generous, and so on. And they said, look, the logistics of setting up this stage are too difficult. We'll set up our equipment, your band, you just plug into it. And so we thought, fantastic. We're going to sound, well, maybe not like Jethro Tull, but we'll certainly sound as loud as Jethro Tull. And there were stacks of amplifiers. They're not Marshalls, but some other make, as I recall. And so we plugged in, we launched into our first number, and about halfway through, I realized, okay, the advantage of playing through this equipment is we sound more impressive. The disadvantage is if we're not quite on, that comes through too, the mistakes. And I was finding a little difficulty in latching onto the groove. I think we were maybe a little too stoned. I mean, being stoned enough is the art to find that level, because you do play better. But I got self-conscious and nervous, and I wasn't quite on the groove. And so I turned my volume control down, and the drummer is gesticulating. Turn it up. Well, wait till I find the groove first. And that's not good. I mean, if you play bass, you can't just drop into the groove every now and again. You are the groove. So that was a bit of it was a bit humiliating. I mean, eventually we found it. We muddled through. We did okay, but that was a lesson in reality, and made me realize I had to practice a little more. I had to get better on the bass.
Do you feel like if your heart hadn't been broken by Roger Waters, that maybe you would have played better?
I don't know. I don't know. But no, I should say that I think it's fair to say that in those days he was fairly arrogant.
With good reason, maybe.
Yeah, I think for good reason. A great bass player, a talented man. But he has mellowed. Roger, if you're listening, if you're out there, sorry about that story, but no, I really like his politics now. I think he's doing great things, and no, it would be. I think we'd get on a lot better if we were ever to meet again. But I suppose it was something of a misspent time at Oxford, because I was playing in bands too much and not working as hard as I should have. But I ended up going to Berkeley in California because people said, oh, the San Francisco Bay Area is terrific. And so, yes, in 1970, I went to Berkeley and ended up staying in the US for 40 years. That's why I speak the way I do.
Sometimes I